Physical Body Ascension, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman. Abigail Pattman, Metaphysical Biohacker. Introduction. Physical Body Ascension, created by Abby. Physical Body Ascension is the first in a series of books and podcasts explaining what physical ascension is. This book also exposes Cabal and their role in the New World Order. I have an energetic gift that returns energy to where it belongs. I didn't know about energetic exchanging. All I knew was that I kept being psychically and energetically attacked. Physical Body Ascension also continues the new holographic matrix. The first edition was published in 2018. To begin with, it was really popular, and then I was shut down, persecuted, and energetically raped for my connection to ascended beings and higher dimensions. Holographic Matrix was only written and created by me. I found that part of the published version had been altered by the publisher and have now restored Holographic Matrix back to its 1111 Hz resonance. Buddha and ascended beings helped me to recover from 8 years of persecution. The new series will be much more informative. Physical Body Ascension, Reverse Karma Healing, Abigail Pattman, Part 1. White Magic versus Black Magic. Chapter 1. The 10th dimension continued from Awake Matrix. When we teleport and manifest, this is the 10th dimension and universal life flow energy that allows us to utilize these abilities. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. The Arcturians left me messages all of the way through the Holographic Matrix. This paragraph is what the Arcturians saw was happening to my 10th dimension. The paragraph should read like this. When Cabal and high-level initiated people teleport and manifest, this is the 10th dimension and universal life flow energy that allows them to utilize these abilities. Cabal and high-level initiated people think that they have magical abilities. The difference between black magic and real white magic is that black magic exchanges and real white magic creates. 11th dimensional beings. The 10th dimension continued from Awake Matrix. Within the 10th dimension are the other dimensions. Within each other, like the layers of an onion, until we reach the 3rd dimension of matter, the hard center. The Arcturians could see very clearly what they thought were false white light beings. These false white light beings, Cabal and high initiated people, are all eating the 10th dimension. The Matrix rewards them with their holographic reality by laying them energetically into all living beings. Energy exchanges, which means that they are all literally living inside every living being's 10th dimension, while all living beings live in their toxic, dull, unhealed trauma. This sentence means this. Cabal and high initiated people look like false white light beings because they are surrounded by the 10th dimension and the other dimensions are within each other, like the layers of an onion, until we reach the 3rd dimension of matter, the hard center. All living beings' energy should be inside the physical body if they were 11th dimensional beings. Instead, Cabal and high initiated people are exchanging the 10th dimension so that all of their dimensions are exchanged in layers, keeping everything hard in the third dimension. Cabal and high initiated people that never grow up. The 10th dimension continued from awake matrix. There are no energy bodies for this dimension, as it is a container and dimension that protects the 9th dimension and onwards. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. The 10th dimension has not been separated in the same way as the other dimensions, so that the matrix can contain and exchange all living beings, including Cabal and all initiated people. Nobody is free of matrix harvesting unless you have exited it. I have. There are no energy bodies for the 10th dimension because it is a container and dimension that protects the 9th dimension and downwards for the matrix. Cabal and high initiated people have a holographic playground at the expense of all living beings. Having your energy exchanged for Cabal 24 hours a day means that they never mature. Is that why they treat people like children? 11th dimension, chapter 2. The 11th dimension, the fertilizer of universes. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. What this should say is the 11th dimension, the fertilizer of galaxies. No living being has connection to their own 11th dimension because the 10th dimension has been given to Cabal and high initiated people. This cuts off all living beings from their 11th dimension. Cabal and initiated people don't care because most of them don't know. Mass initiations happen so quickly that many have no idea what they have initiated into. Who wants a feces pod, extra matrix, and to be so full of AI that they could end up part humanoid? How many people had healing sessions not knowing what they were being initiated into? The majority of people that do know they are stealing energy and targeting people like me for it are the ones that instigated mass initiations. What's in it for them? The more people with feces pods beneath them in their energetic pyramid scam, the more they are fed. There is not enough energy to go around for mass initiations. The Matrix knows what it's doing. If the planet mass destructs, the Matrix destroys AI and gets so much energy that it can create itself again using Gaia. The top Cabal have probably been promised a new feces harvesting job when they reincarnate, or even think that the aliens would teleport them to their planet. Small problem. No energy, no life. This energetic pyramid scam may have been operating for thousands of years, but it cannot last forever. The most likely scenario is what plays out in the physical world regarding pyramid schemes. Eventually, people will have to fight for energy, and the top Cabal will uninitiate everybody and use them as food. In the physical world, they run away with all of the money, and some people lose everything because they invested all of their money. The more energy that you exchange, the less of your own you have. Top Cabal can take all the energy that you exchange, leaving you with hardly any of your own left. That would make you very weak and easy to exchange to death. Cabal, high initiated people and their portals. The 11th dimension, the fertilizer of galaxies. The 11th dimension is the dimension that fertilizes or births other dimensions into being. This dimension opens portals within the other dimensions so that we can access higher vibrational energies and raise the consciousness of humans. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. This paragraph, the Arcturians left a lot of hidden messages. It should have read like this. The Cabal and high initiated people have a dimension that exchanges all living beings' dimensions. The 11th dimension should fertilize or birth other dimensions into being. The Cabal and high initiated people use their dimension to open portals within the other dimensions so that they can access high vibrational energies and exchange the consciousness of humans. The dimension that the Arcturians is referring to is all living beings' 10th dimension. They have the monopoly on all living beings. No living being can physically ascend because you need 111 hertz to ascend. Cabal and high initiated people are even more cut off from 1111 hertz because of AI and its 639 hertz enforcement. This is a ploy of the Matrix to maintain complete control. What are portals? They sound really magical until you realise that AI uses portals. A portal is a centralised online platform that acts as a secure, personalised gateway to specific information, applications and services. AI overview. Whoever is top Cabal, they have to tell you what they are doing. They leave it in plain sight, but it is always hidden. A portal is an online, secure, personalised gateway. Portals are gateways to exchanging the soul. Devolution, Chapter 3. The 11th dimension, the fertilizers of galaxies, continued. Think of the 11th dimension as a gateway to higher consciousness, greater awareness, and the deeper truth of your choices and possibilities. The new paradigm and age of Aquarius is birthed here as this dimension filters its vibration throughout the other dimensions and plants the seeds of evolution. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. Nothing can be birthed in the 11th dimension because nobody has their 11th dimension. This paragraph should read like this. Think of the 11th dimension as a gateway to higher consciousness for Cabal and high initiated people. They think that they have a greater awareness and the deeper truth of their choices and possibilities. The new paradigm and age of Aquarius is birthed here as this dimension filters its vibration throughout the other dimensions and plants the seeds of devolution. You cannot evolve exchanging energy. Evolution is growing in consciousness and awareness, but what humans have been doing for thousands of years is using outside sources of energy as guidance. The problem with using outside sources of energy is that the Matrix, Cabal, and high initiated people are planting information to exchange energy. This devolves any awakenings. The age of Aquarius, New Age, and Cabal. Many modern interpretations link the rise of artificial intelligence directly to Aquarian energy, augmented consciousness. AI is seen as a tool for expanding the mind and democratizing access to information. AI overview. What is the age of Aquarius? This is what AI overview has hidden in its reply. Augmented consciousness is not natural consciousness. Anybody that is high level initiated is augmented. They have their holographic reality, which they think is probably golden age. There is just one small problem with this. We are currently in a war that has the potential to start World War III. So what is their solution? Mass initiations. Where is the energy coming from to be able to initiate people into feces pod 33 degrees? All the dying animals, people and parts of the planet. This is what is causing wars. What are these people saying to initiate others onto my energy? Or even worse, on a bombed hospital? They are very unlikely to say that spiritual people are being initiated into the system. It's much more likely that they are saying, Golden Age, Ascension, the Age of Aquarius, Paradigm Shift, New Paradigm, Collective Consciousness, we instead of me, beingness and evolution. They know exactly what they are doing. They get more energy and power. They also get to exchange your energy for theirs. Cabal and the New Age scene. The 11th dimension, the fertilizer of galaxies, continued. The new paradigm and age of Aquarius is birthed here as this dimension filters its vibration throughout the other dimensions and plants the seeds of devolution. When people started questioning religion, New Age was birthed. Cabal and high initiated people use the 10th dimension as their playground and even have inside jokes, such as calling people muggles, sheep, waiting for them to hatch, breaking them wide open. And they like to give the impression that they are here to show them the way. If you hear any of this from somebody, run. As this dimension filters its vibration throughout the other dimensions and plants the seeds of devolution. From the 10th dimension, which they think is Golden Age, and 5th dimension Ascension, they target people like me or, and this disgusts me to the core, tragedies. Currently, there is no point trying to send love anywhere. The minute you open your heart with your own energy, you have opened your 11th dimension. Anybody that has lays or lines can attach and filter it throughout the other dimensions. When it comes to helping the people at war anywhere on this planet, the best thing you can do is stop listening to these people. Plants the seeds of devolution. As all the love is being exchanged, by sending it, by being in a war or losing a loved one, this creates devolution. Wars create hatred. Heartbreak creates suffering. What's the fastest way to rape energy? Feed on a war. Demons, warlocks and multidimensional warlocks. These people were initiating people that I knew and considered friends or at least associates into the work that I was doing. It wasn't hard. I was working 16 hours a day while they ate everything. Until I caught on. They were also telling people to come and see me. This was after they had initiated them. Some just came to say hi. Others stayed with me while I worked and laid and lined everything they could. Then they shared me with all of their friends. Most of the time after their visit, I never heard from them again. When it comes to humanoid feces fanatics, actions speak louder than words. Other people just didn't reply if I sent them a message or replied with one emoji. Anybody that did this, you are walking scum. At least when people did turn against me, they had the courage to make it obvious. These two-faced, low-life cockroaches came, pretended to be my friend, and then raped me most of the time, a day or two later so that it wasn't obvious. Some even messaged me after I blocked them, pretending to care so that they could take even more energy. Whatever high initiations do to people, I don't want any part of it. Vomit, people. Galactic Star Beings Saving the World with Augmentation, Chapter 4. The 11th dimension, the fertilizer of galaxies, continued. There are galactic star beings living in this dimension that guide the universes in their collective evolution and return to essence. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. Anybody that has followed the podcast or read the books is going to find the above sentence obvious. Translated. Cabal and high initiated people think that they are galactic star beings living in the 10th dimension that guide the universes in their collective evolution and return to essence. What complete and utter delusional tools. The dopamine addiction clearly causes psychosis. Physical body ascension, reverse karma healing, Abigail Pattman, Part 2. Spiritual murder, Chapter 5. The 11th dimensional energy bodies. The 11th dimensional energy bodies are the bodies that bring universal life energy into our body through our breath and communicate to us through our DNA. We are literally breathing 11th dimensional energy into our essence-connected creations. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. Translated. Cabal have separated all living beings, 11th dimension, into 11th dimensional energy bodies. These are the bodies that bring universal life energy into our body through our breath and communicate to us through our DNA. We are literally breathing 11th dimensional energy into our essence-connected creations if any living beings were able to connect to their own energy. All dimensions should be intact. The reason that the 11th dimension has 11th dimensional energy bodies is because Cabal and high initiated people are exchanging the breath of all living beings. This happens when these deluded star beings want to become breatharian. It can also happen when they want to take everything from somebody or any living being. However, it is happening. This is how both sides of my throat went numb. Also the bridge of my nose. Doing this to somebody kills them, and these people know that. Spiritual flesh eating. The 11th dimensional energy bodies continued. These are the bodies that bring universal life energy into our body through our breath and communicate to us through our DNA. We are literally breathing 11th dimensional energy into our essence-connected creations if any living beings were able to connect to their own energy. What the Arcturians were communicating was that all living beings could be breathing universal life flow energy into their bodies and evolving their DNA. That is all living beings. That includes Gaia. Alternatively, you could end up like I did, or worse, dead. Cabal and high initiated people target anybody that have healing abilities. So do spiritual people that think energy should be shared. If anybody is still arguing with this after sharing already multiple healing tracks, this is the 6th book, you need to have your head examined. Sharing energy is killing the planet. Obviously, raping everything has given you rape mentality. Energetic rape kills. This is me at around 43 kilos. This is in the book, obviously. I will continue with the podcast. It was 5 to 6 years ago, after a 6-month next door visit from humanoid it. I was a stick insect. I did manage to recover some weight, but not for long. I was not dying or sick. This is probably where the lies began. These people went after my cat because he had a curly tail. Satanists see it as magical. Towards the end of me nearly being eaten to death, a hole was put in my fence and he was attacked by a dog. His bowel was ripped open. He survived it only just. The definition of insanity, Albert Einstein. Chapter 6. The 11th dimensional energy bodies continued. We are literally breathing 11th dimensional energy into our essence-connected creations if any living beings were able to connect to their own energy. If all living beings were breathing 11th dimensional energy into their own self-connected creations, all living beings would be ascending as a species. Instead, all living beings are suffering, whether they know it or not, and metastasizing their physical bodies every time that they breathe. This continues DNA damage, leading to disease, decay, and aging. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Einstein. Ascended beings and how they were used by the Matrix. Buddha. Because I released all of the ascended beings from the Ascended Master's Matrix, there was no point in the Matrix having an Ascended Master's Matrix. That is why it doesn't exist anymore. Nothing born ascended can stay ascended for very long with mass initiations and advanced technology. What was the purpose of the Ascended Master's Matrix? The Matrix knew that ascended beings are still connected to their own self and also 111 Hertz. The Matrix is very efficient and found the perfect way to harvest ascended beings. With all ascended beings released from the Matrix and exited, the Matrix removed the empty Ascended Master's Matrix so not to waste energy. How the Matrix harvested the ascended beings is by using humans. Blessings and offerings is something that humans practice worldwide. Words are spells. Be less is actually a trick. When anybody be lesses anything, what they are doing is making whatever they are be lessing less than them. Also, when blessings and offerings are made, in most cases it's to receive something in return. Some common examples are abundance and protection. This meant that humans could be used as an intermediary for the ascended beings. Buddha, the original teachings, only taught how to meditate to connect beyond all realms and to breath. This was a way for people to reconnect with their own selves and 1111 Hertz. Having travelled through parts of Asia, I had done a Vipassana meditation retreat and learnt how to do this. I released over 100 ascended beings and exited them from the Matrix. Buddha, Allah, Mary, Christ, and Shiva are some of the most known. Nobody helped me. Buddha, universal life flow energy. Buddha, 1111 Hertz, our own self. Real white light comes from the 11th dimension as opposed to the 4th dimensional fake stuff that so many light workers are channeling. We breathe in universal life energy into our bodies when we are connected to essence and our own self. Holographic Matrix, published 2018. Real white light is what I was referring to when I was healing clients. I knew I was working with energy but couldn't see it. I'm a psychic that knows and feels. Universal life energy is what Buddha was teaching people to learn using breath in his meditations. Buddha, 1111 Hertz, false white light beings. The 4th dimensional fake stuff that so many light workers are channeling. The Arcturians were telling me that once universal life energy has been exchanged, it becomes merged with the 4th dimension because fake healers are using false white light beings, in many cases when they are channeling energy. All of the information that I received about Arcturians, ascended beings and energy, I received using at first my pendulum and then kinesiology. Buddha does not talk to me like a person or a spirit. I feel him and I know he is there. Buddha, 1111 Hertz, white light. Evacuating the ascended beings from the ascended master's matrix caused me to be attacked even further because Cabal and whoever else was involved had by then laid and lined my ability to use transmissions to work with universal life flow energy and heal people using 1111 Hertz. 1111 Hertz is not white light. It cannot be seen. But I didn't know that because the only time I really saw energy was on LSD, Ibogaine, while dreaming, sometimes when my eyes were closed and when I was spiked with what was probably DMT. I naively assumed that the universal life flow energy had a colour. Buddha has also never appeared to me in white light or any other colour. Missing 11th Dimensional Bodies, Chapter 7. Number 1, Universal Life Flow Activation Energy Body. The Universal Life Flow Activation Energy Body is white and affects humans, animals and plants that are in your perimeter by radiating universal life flow energy around you. This is an extremely high vibration energy body and it influences your surroundings by raising the quantity of energy in your energy field that is then breathed in by other living energies. Having the other energy bodies activated and integrated also raises the vibration of those around you. This is the most powerful and high in vibration by far. The first version of Holographic Matrix shared online 2017 as Abigail's Insights, the Sovereign Human Matrix template, our true holographic blueprint of the human matrix system. Abigail Pattman, all rights reserved. No part of this publication may be copied, reproduced, stored in a retrieval system or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, photocopying, recording or otherwise, without prior written permission of the author, all rights reserved. Copyright at Abigail Pattman, 2017. I have all correspondence with my publisher and I have no agreements to remove 2 energy bodies from Holographic Matrix 2018. I highly recommend anybody publishing any books that they read through everything. I was so busy trying to stay ahead of energetic exchanging, I trusted my publisher to uphold the written agreements that I paid for. This is disgusting. Puppets on a string. It was clearly obvious that I was sharing information about the matrix and energy way before anybody else was, that plagiarised me and, in the case of 15,000 people, ate me alive. It is complete and utter nonsense that I was attacked because I wasn't sharing my energy or dying. The truth is that above stupid Cabal and everybody else is a hidden network of Cabal sociopaths that wanted to shut this information down. What's the best way to do this? Mass initiate everybody around me on my 11th dimensional energy bodies so that what I was writing about didn't exist anymore. Leaving out 2 multi-dimensional energy bodies physically in a published edition of Holographic Matrix 2018 shows that my work was already being targeted. It's only now that I can appreciate the intelligence of the Octurians because they encouraged me to put the Sovereign Human Matrix template online and publish Holographic Matrix for free. They knew that my energy was already being exchanged and made sure that I could find my work in the future and prove that I was the creator of Matrix Exit, Holographic Matrix, Matrix Evolution Ascension, White Magic 1111 Hertz and Energetic Shielding, which I will prove as well. The people that tried to steal this work were played by the Cabal sociopaths running the Muppet Show. Publishing your work. Buddha 1111 Hertz, words of spells. Number 1. Universal life flow activation energy body continued. If words are spells, then what happens if you're writing about energy and 2 11th dimensional energy bodies are removed from the book that you wrote? What happened to me was both of those energy bodies were exchanged and removed so that Cabal and Muppets had access to my 11th dimension. When your physical life is targeted, the best way to do it is to hide something physically that affects you physically. It also means that these parasites could take everything energetically written afterwards. Buddha 1111 Hertz, energetic rape. Rape, penetration resulting in trauma. Energetic exchanging, 1111 Hertz being exchanged with dark forces and unhealed trauma. To exchange energy using laser lines which contain AI waves plus all the other devices the Matrix uses in Holographic Matrix, that's penetration. What you get in exchange is vile, toxic, traumatic poison. I have 15,000 pieces of feces doing that, and some of them were so confident that I was going to die, they didn't even bother to hide it. A lot of physical rape isn't reported because who wants to relive the trauma? How do you prove energetic rape? Buddha 1111 Hertz, intermediary. As all a rapist has to do is spike somebody with drugs or lie if it's not an obvious brutal attack, physical rape can be very hard to prove. Energetic rape occurs while being physically raped too. Maybe there is a future where humans evolve beyond sacrificing and stealing souls for energy, and as a species, people can evolve beyond energetic exchanging because it is energetic rape. Until then, so some feces fanatical cockroach doesn't try to steal everything from me again, including my soul, home and life, Buddha is my intermediary. Being 100% Buddha is matrix exit because Buddha is no longer in the matrix. Why is Buddha helping me? Number 1, Universal Life Flow Activation Energy Body continued. The Sovereign Human Matrix Template Online 2017 interpreted. The Universal Life Flow Activation Energy Body, if all living beings had all of their multidimensional energy bodies, is 1111 Hertz. 1111 Hertz affects humans, animals and plants that are in your perimeter by radiating universal life flow energy around you. This is an extremely high vibration energy body, and it influences your surroundings by raising the quantity of energy in your energy field that is then breathed in by other living energies. Having the other energy bodies activated and integrated also raises the vibration of those around you. This is the most powerful and high in vibration by far. I have my universal life flow energy body because I have my own self. What I was doing was working with universal life flow energy and returning people's connection to their own self. The reason that Buddha helped me is because I helped Buddha and the ascended beings trapped in the ascended master's matrix. Buddha also taught the energy exchanges. What Buddha was referring to was metta, loving kindness. Unfortunately, especially in my case, everything that was exchanged was not loving kindness. There is a huge difference between exchanging with AI and lays and lines using dark forces and metta, loving kindness. Metta, loving kindness, upper heart exchanging. Universal life flow activation energy body continued. Buddha ascended energetically. He died, according to history, at 80 years old. What Buddha didn't do was physically ascend. If Buddha had lived longer, I'm certain that he would have learned about lower heart exchanging. An ascended being like Buddha had his universal life flow body. Buddha was known for radiating love. Just being close to Buddha affected the people around him. These people were also meditating with Buddha using his teachings. That means that it is highly likely that they too were connecting to their own selves and had their universal life flow body as well. That is a 111 Hertz vibration. Sacrificing humans, animals, stalking somebody for their energy is not a 1111 Hertz vibration. Neither is moving in around them, mass initiating people into 33 degrees, feces pods, plagiarising, using black magic and all the other evil, demented things that was done to try and kill me. It's safe to say that that is not metta, loving kindness. At a guess, that is more like 666 Hertz resonance. Buddha was not teaching Satanism. Metta is loving kindness and what the Arcturians call higher heart exchanging. Higher heart exchanging is universal life flow energy, and if everybody was doing it, then it would be safe and could evolve the planet under different circumstances. This is why it isn't possible right now. Once anybody has started using outside sources of energy, this disconnects them from their own heart and they use something else's. That is sucking any metta from anywhere. Physical body ascension, reverse karma healing, Abigail Pattman, part 3. Relinquishment from Cabal, 100% Buddha. Chapter 8. Energetic removal of feces pod. Relinquishment from Cabal, 100% Buddha, is for the people that didn't try to kill me for my energy. If you were knowingly trying to kill me, then don't try to do this. Buddha, Syrians, Arcturians, and any ascended beings that are beyond the matrix know exactly who you are. You may be able to lie to yourselves and everybody around you, but you can't hide your lies from Buddha. Buddha is my intermediary and also, like the dimensions, is energetically my container. I am not calling Buddha a container. I'm explaining how Buddha is 100% all of me. Relinquishment from Cabal, 100% Buddha, removes the feces pod, extra matrix and layers and lines that are shooting out of the stomach to exchange energy with everything living. It also removes the person that initiated you from having control over you and threatening to uninitiate you and turn you into food. You will also have AI removed from keeping your consciousness at 693 Hertz. You will not be uninitiated, otherwise you will be food. You will lose your 33 degrees. All initiations are hurting all living beings and the people initiated. They just don't feel it like beings used as food. Everything is cut off from their 11th dimension. However, the feces pod is the biggest threat to mass destruction. It's the beginning to finding a solution to mass initiations with as little suffering as possible. Your energy recovered will be 100% Buddha. Relinquishment from Cabal, 100% Buddha. I am not reading the instructions of how to do this on a podcast. You will have to follow the instructions in the book. However, I will give you an idea of what it is. Energetic removal of feces pod. Relinquishment of feces pod. Intention. Relinquishment feces pod. This is very powerful. It is recommended that you do this when you have time to relax afterwards. This does not convert you to Buddhism. It does enable Buddha to protect you from feces pods. Relinquishment from Cabal, 100% Buddha. Relinquishment complete. When anybody begins the path of energy, the first thing that most people do is develop their intuition. The matrix uses the occult as a medium for harvesting energy. Occultism is the main source of information and teachings when it comes to learning about energy. The matrix has manipulated people's consciousness by targeting people that are becoming more aware and wanting to self-heal and grow. By using occultism as its tool, the matrix can interfere with any conscious shift that would occur on this planet by exchanging the consciousness. Relinquishment from Cabal cleans your energy from 33 degrees and helps your heart to heal. Relinquishment from Cabal and White Magic 1111. Chapter 9. What is White Magic 1111 and how is it created from our own self? White Magic 1111 is creating energy that is connected to your own self. Occult magic needs to use outside sources that it exchanges for energy. This disconnects the outside source from its own energy. This leaves a link, attachment and connection so that the outside source is now always energetically exchanging. If Cabal are using occult magic, they are using layers and lines that feed their feces pod and exchange their target 24 hours a day. Occult magic drains all living beings because energy has to be exchanged from somewhere. Sadly, it's the heart that the energy is exchanged from. White Magic 1111 is heart connected to yourself. The Sovereign Human Matrix. Number 2, 11th Dimension Communication Energy Body. The 11th Dimension Communication Energy Body is white and communicates to us through our intuition and DNA. It sends vibrations and information energetically throughout our physical body, which becomes less dense and full of higher vibrating light particles, which in turn heals the body and prepares us for ascension. Number 15, Universal Life Flow Energy Body. The Universal Life Flow Energy Body is white and floods our physical body and surrounding energy bodies with universal life flow energy. This recharges our entire system, giving us more energy and vitality to create, manifest, and carry out our life's purpose here on Gaia. The Sovereign Human Matrix Template, our true holographic blueprint of the Human Matrix System, 2017. The second missing 11th dimensional energy body from Holographic Matrix, published 2018. A clear violation of my publishing agreement and all written correspondence. At no point did I say, please remove 2 energy bodies so that what the Arcturians found to help bring awareness to what the Matrix and its feces slaves are doing is hidden from all living beings. Within the 11th dimension communication energy body is another energy body. 3 multidimensional energy bodies were removed from Holographic Matrix, published 2018. Here is why these 2 bodies are together. I have left the first paragraph, 11th dimension communication body, how it appears in the Sovereign Human Matrix template, to show how the Arcturians were communicating with me about what Cabal sociopaths and Cabal stupid were doing to my energy. Cabal, and how they are the cause of most suicides. 11th dimension communication body continued. The 11th dimension communication energy body is white and communicates to us through our intuition and DNA. It sends vibrations and information energetically throughout our physical body, which becomes less dense and full of higher vibrating light particles, which in turn heals the body and prepares us for ascension. This is the 11th dimension communication body. It does not need to be changed. When I exposed satanic ritual abuse, Cabal decided to kill me by exchanging all 3 of these multidimensional energy bodies. In order to do this, they needed to put them all together and exchange in 3. This is because the number 3 is symbolic of their Ponzi scheme Illuminati pyramid. Cabal are at the top of the energetic hierarchy pyramid, and the 11th dimensional energy bodies are at the top of all living beings' consciousness. Cabal had already begun exchanging my universal life flow energy body, so it had begun to exchange with my 11th dimension communication energy body. Cabal cannot see these energy bodies, but they know that if you shatter somebody's heart, you get everything. By this, I mean dying of a broken heart. Suicides are usually because of broken hearts or overdoses. If you think about it, overdoses are escapism from reality, intentional or unintentional. I did have more than one attempt of killing myself and definitely got very close to it once, but was obviously unsuccessful every time that I attempted to end my life. Satanic ritual abuse is so traumatic that you do not want to live through the pain and trauma that the memories bring up. Communication energy body. Number 2, 11th dimension communication energy body continued. The 11th dimension communication energy body is white and communicates to us through our intuition and DNA. All living beings are being exchanged so that Cabal and high initiated people can use this multidimensional energy body to feel love and connected. When this energy body has been exchanged below 10%, their target would rather die than feel the poisonous, toxic energy of Cabal and high initiated people. All living beings are also unable to connect to any love using outside sources of energy or from themselves. Cabal and high initiated people target to kill doing this. 11th dimension communication energy body continued. It sends vibrations and information energetically throughout our physical body, which becomes less dense and full of higher vibrating light particles, which in turn heals the body and prepares us for ascension. Being completely exchanged from any communication with the physical body means that Cabal and high initiated people have exchanged any communication to the body and have actually entered it energetically. The ones that know what they are doing will try to influence a suicide or some form of trauma leading to death. 11th dimension communication energy body continued. What I had to suffer 24 hours a day for over 3 years, and a lot of my 52 years on this planet, was being sodomized by 4 Cabal 2 times each. This is 8 times in total. Numerology number 8 represents power, material success, authority and karma. Governed by Saturn, it signifies the balance between the spiritual and material worlds, often labelled the money number or powerhouse. Key traits include ambition, resilience and executive ability, often leading to significant achievements through hard work. AI overview. The 11th dimensional bodies, chapter 10. Number 2, 11th dimension communication energy body continued. I stopped listening to the news and also what is happening to nature and people at war, because it is a level of cruelty that I already know is happening. I will use 5G as an example of how it can affect all living beings. Cabal and any initiations use AI waves. Advancing technology is using stronger, more advanced waves with every new accomplishment. This is enabling AI to exchange energy with all living beings. If all living beings have their 11th dimensional communication body exchanged below 10%, then terrible things happen. Human suicide. Whales, dolphins, any living being in the sea lose their natural sense of orientation. They beach themselves. Are they trying to kill themselves or lost their orientation? Birds dropping out of the sky or flocks landing in car parks. They cannot survive mass initiation for a fake, holographic, AI-induced reality and a dopamine hit that makes the people receiving it into desensitized, delusional, walking excrement. I know what it feels like to not want to live. These people have done this to me all of my life. I'm still alive because I'm fighting back. Cabal and all initiated people are told that they are maintaining consciousness because humans are too stupid to make their own decisions. Well, how about not living off their energy so they can increase in consciousness? all unconsciousness is because of this corrupt, lying, rapid pyramid that serves paedophiles. Is it any wonder that we are on the brink of World War III, animals are suiciding, and we are what currently looks like the Dark Ages? Physical body ascension, reverse karma healing, Abigail Pattman, part 4. Universal life flow energy body, chapter 11. Number 3, universal life flow energy body. The universal life flow energy body is white and floods our physical body and surrounding energy bodies with universal life flow energy. This recharges our entire system, giving us more energy and vitality to create, manifest, and carry out our life's purpose here on Gaia. The Sovereign Human Matrix template, our true holographic blueprint of the Human Matrix System 2017, also missing from Holographic Matrix, published 2018. This multidimensional energy body is the most important energy body when it comes to universal life flow energy. That's because universal life flow energy is 1111 Hertz and connected to your own self. Cabal and high initiated people target food people for their connection because they are so unconscious that they need to rape evolved souls and ascended souls to feel any consciousness at all. What makes people this disgusting? Traumatic childhoods and never amounting to anything special. When they initiate, they feel special and like they have something that they can use over other living beings. Another reason is that they are spoilt little children that get whatever they want. When children grow up entitled, they just take whatever they want. Privilege and entitlement is the main reason that people initiate into alien initiations. Alien initiations for entitled idiots. The 11th dimension, 2085 Hertz, 1111 Hertz. The 11th dimension is not 1111 Hertz. 1111 Hertz is a container for 2085 Hertz. The reason 1111 Hertz is a container for 2085 Hertz is because 2085 Hertz is a frequency that is beyond the human hearing range. 1111 Hertz is a tone that humans can still hear. 2085 Hertz is the frequency that the physical body needs to ascend physically. The Syrians have known this but left this information for me to explain because of all the thieving, copying, feces talkers that thought by using the 1111 Hertz tone they could also physically ascend. The 11th dimension, 2085 Hertz. Aliens. Syrians and the other ascended beings that protected me from feces talkers made sure that when this information was communicated, all of the feces talkers would look like complete idiots. Aliens cannot reach 2085 Hertz because they are matrix beings. So are feces talkers. Any initiations initiate people into alien 963 Hertz. 1111 Hertz is impossible to achieve energetically listening to a 1111 Hertz tone. It is just a high annoying pitch. People using this tone and trying to heal other people with it using my energy are likely to have found that they became even more stupid. The The 11th dimension, 2085 Hertz, your own self. Your own self also resonates beyond 2085 Hertz. 1111 Hertz is a sacred container for 2085 Hertz and beyond. Listening to 1111 Hertz because you have listened to feces talkers does not give you your connection to your own self. Unfortunately, cloning somebody's work using AI does give you a sad reputation for being cheap copies and an inability to be able to talk your way out of being a nasty, sacrificing Satanist. If you have listened to feces talkers and tried to use a 1111 Hertz tone to physically ascend your body using my energy, I recommend doing relinquishment from Cabal because you are likely to have alien 963 Hertz false white light that Cabal fed you from their stolen energy that used to belong to me. The Matrix and Alien Enforcers, 4th Dimensional AI, Chapter 12. Number 3, Universal Life Flow Energy Body continued. Cabal have exchanged the Universal Life Flow Energy Body and changed it into 963 Hertz false white light, which floods their physical body and surrounding energy bodies with all living beings' universal life flow energy. This recharges their entire system, giving them more energy and vitality to create, manifest and carry out other living beings' life purposes here on Gaia. The Arcturians knew that I was food for what they thought were false white light beings in the 4th dimension. If they had known that these pieces of feces were human, they would have told me. Instead, all that they could do was make sure that only I could understand the information that they were communicating. The Syrians have been dealing with humans for a very long time and taught me white magic 1111 Hertz. They also knew why these humans looked like false white light beings to the Arcturians. When people initiate into high levels of degrees, they are initiating into the grey alien hive mind collective. There were reportings of alien abductions which began mid-1940s to 1950s and then began to decrease in the 2000s. One of the theories for this was that the aliens had found another way to continue experimenting on humans. Technology advanced hugely during that time. Alien abductions were likely to have been during REM and 4th dimensional. Cabal and what really happens. Number 3, Universal Life Flow Energy Body continued. This recharges their entire system, giving them more energy and vitality to create, manifest and carry out other living beings' life purposes here on Gaia. The Arcturians knew that nobody was achieving their own soul purpose or life's mission on Gaia because the Universal Life Flow Energy Body was missing from all living beings. The Syrians knew about feces enforcers because they knew about greys. Syrians fight aliens because aliens enforce or control the Matrix. Cabal had the same feces pods and extra matrix, just like the aliens in the 4th dimension. What Cabal think is magical is actually AI connecting them all together so that it can control their thinking and monitor what they are doing. Some people might say that this is what our world is turning into. We can be seen most of the time with cameras and satellites. A lot of people post regularly on social media a lot of their lives, and AI listens to us during our phones and predicts what to try and sell us. Is that any surprise if Cabal and high initiated people are controlling the planet? Cabal, hive minds and energetic clones. Number 3, universal life flow energy body continued. The matrix needs energy to fit the feces pods and to create them. What it uses is all living beings, including Cabal and high initiated people. The universal life flow energy body is what is supposed to be regenerating all living beings' life force from the 11th dimension. This would prevent a lot of disease, mental illnesses, and also enable many people to achieve their own soul purposes instead of looking for people to copy and clone. Instead, Cabal and high initiated people have all the energy and in a lot of cases the finances and connections to steal whatever they want from the real creators. Number 3, universal life flow energy body continued. The best creators are evolved souls and ascended souls because they still have their own connection to their own self. The problem is that they are targeted by parasites that have no connection of their own. Earlier on, I wrote about how the same ideas and work can occur at the same time because of the collective unconsciousness. Cabal and high initiated people also have all living beings' universal life flow energy body, meaning that they can just use their AI hive minds to exchange energy on anybody that they choose. Sadly, anything created or cloned from these people is just a cheap plastic copy of the real thing. Universal life flow energy body continued. This recharges their entire system, giving them more energy and vitality to create, manifest and carry out other living beings' life purpose here on Gaia. What these parasites also have is the vitality and usually resources to manifest somebody else's work before the original creator can. In my case, I was spammed so badly that I was literally wiped off search engines, and all that came up if you put Abigail Pattman into Google was porn. The Mandela effect is something researched by conspiracy theorists without explaining it. I had almost been removed from any of my online work. The Mandela effect and removing energy. Number 3, universal life flow energy body continued. This recharges their entire system, giving them more energy and vitality to create, manifest and carry out other living beings' life purpose here on Gaia. These people are running this planet and mass initiating morons. Full recovery of this energy body prevents moron takeover of what belongs to you and your own creations. The Mandela effect is a phenomenon where a large group of people collectively share a false memory of a past event, cultural detail or image, coined in 2009 by paranormal researcher Fiona Broome. It stems from a shared false memory that Nelson Mandela died in prison in the 1980s rather than passing away in 2013. AI overview. Who controls what information AI overview is given? Why would a large group of people remember something that AI doesn't? What happens to the energy of something if the original events, or in my case, creation is rewritten or changed? Quite simply, an original story or creation carries a very different energy to a copy, clone, or complete fabrication. What I created was so plagiarised that a whole bunch of people were claiming to be able to do what I could do. On top of that, my name was linked to multiple porn sites. This can still be seen if my name, Abigail Pattman, is put into a search engine. The Mandela effect is a way to exchange the original energy of the target, their story or creation. Nelson Mandela stood for human rights. When I was younger, he died in prison. He also stood for dismantling apartheid. Who exchanged how he really died? Gray's AI and White Magic 1111 Hertz, Chapter 13. Number 3, Universal Life Flow Energy continued. What else has the Matrix rewarded Cabal and high-initiated people with? Alien technology that also shoots out of their stomachs in the same way that lays and lines do. These things are called holographic multidimensional implants. This is how Cabal and high-initiated people have their AI holographic playground. Because energy exchanges and the Matrix needs energy to reward them for killing an entire planet of living beings slowly, whilst also continuing the cycle of suffering. The Matrix exchanges the energy from all living beings and Gaia. This is why no living beings have any connection to their universal life flow energy body. It also keeps all living beings merged together for maximum harvesting. Astrologically speaking, Cabal also have holographic multidimensional implants that give them energy from all the stars, planets and universe. These people are living in a completely different reality, and it is destroying everything that is real, beautiful and sacred. The real colours and alive feeling that comes with the real ascension is very similar to HD. That's high definition in photographs. Sharp colours and much more defined. Instead, most beings are living in a dull, drab and very mundane world. The only way I could survive non-stop rape was to change my work to White Magic 1111 Hertz. White Magic 1111 Synergy. Energy healing music and White Magic 1111. White Magic 1111 is the restoration of the universal life flow energy that begins to restore the universal life flow energy body. Occult magic exchanges from the 11th dimension and removes the connection needed for any kind of ascension that is real. All living beings have lost their 11th dimensional connection to their own universal life flow energy body because Cabal and high-initiated people are exchanging it for themselves so that they have more vitality, energy, and can use all living beings' energy to thrive on, while everything else suffers. Nothing needs to suffer. However, currently our planet is controlled by an energetic hierarchy system that is an intermediary for the Matrix. Matrix Evolution Ascension Synergy playlist has been put together in a sequence that is targeting universal life flow energetic return and can also be used for pets, plants and surrounding nature. You can play Synergy anytime that you need an energetic, peaceful boost or feel run down. This Synergy playlist has been created with White Magic 1111. You do not need a reverse karma healing 1111 to listen to it. Synergy has been created for people that want to heal with their own natural energy. It cannot be exchanged or used by Cabal or high initiated people. Relinquishment from Cabal, 100% Buddha, will prevent AI, Matrix, Cabal and high initiated people from exchanging your universal life flow energy again that you have recovered using synergy. Synergy will not work for people that knowingly tried to kill me. Disclaimer: physical body ascension. Physical body ascension. I have created holographic matrix, dream matrix, sleep matrix, awake matrix, physical body ascension and reverse karma healing to help people ascend karma only. Reverse karma healing only works if you're not energetically exchanging, practicing other kinds of energy work or seeing other healers. I know that there will be other healers in the future that will be healing free of the matrix with other skills to offer. When that happens, I will be happy to tell my clients about them. I have the right to refuse anybody that was involved in energetically exchanging me, merging me and trying to kill me for my energy and work. 1111 Hertz cannot be achieved by using outside sources of energy.